what is a real crime is conspiracy, like Hillary quid pro quo money for uranium one.
Yeah. Absolutely. And that's the investigations that should be happening through all this. And those are the investigations. Bill Clinton stayed at Putin's dacha.
Yeah.
Took $500,000 for his speech, which was, I think they say, twice the average for speeches at that time. While she's Secretary of State.
Nothing wrong there.
She signs off on a deal giving our uranium away to the Russians. How is none of that investigatable? Right? There's way more evidence there than anything going on with the Trump organization.
Every State Department activity that she was involved with involved a payback to the Clinton Corporation. You know, the Clinton Foundation.
The Clinton Foundation, the Clinton Crime Family Foundation.
Exactly.
And the Democrats keep harping on obstruction. Well, we know there is no dispute that Hillary destroyed evidence that was subpoenaed. That is obstruction.
Hard drives, right? Hard drives and emails.
Prosecute.
Phones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, so Derek, do you got that track 3? Because I want to hit on this one last time, and then we'll let it go. This is your robot guy, but I want you to hear it because it goes back to the Norway comment from Trump. Go ahead and play that.
The Hill's opinion contributor John Solomon says, quote, "If you read the newspapers, tuned into the cable TV pundits, or received an email from one of the Democrats running for president, you'd swear Donald Trump was back to his treasonous ways. All that was missing was an annoying OMG text exclamation punctuating the unfounded claims that Trump might violate the law in 2020 by accepting intelligence on a political rival from a foreign country." Solomon continued, quote, "The inference, of course, is that it would come from a hostile power such as Russia or North Korea or Iran. Actually, what Donald Trump told ABC News' George Stephanopoulos was that he considered taking intelligence dirt about a rival from a friendly ally. Norway was the actual example he used. Sound familiar? That's exactly what the Obama administration did in 2016.
Yeah, there you go. The Obamas did it.
You know, I'm watching this series with my wife called The Crown. I highly recommend this, okay? But there's stuff that happens, like, for instance, they're about to make a decision, and the Americans come up and say, hey, you know, you might want to know this. We have intelligence on this. You might want to know this before you make that decision about appointing this guy or elevating this guy to a certain position because we know some stuff, and we'd hate to see you embarrassed. And they take advantage. They take that into consideration. Is that collusion? No. Is that information from a foreign power? Yes. Is it a bad thing? Heck no. That's what allies do. And technically, Norway's a NATO ally of ours, right?
That is correct.
Okay,
And
so
they keep going on and on about interference. Well, what was it when Obama sent half of his upper echelon campaign team into Israel to try and defeat Netanyahu? That was direct, deliberate interference
in another country's
foreign
election. Absolutely. Absolutely. Great call, Joe. I appreciate it, man.
None of this quasi kind of sort of interfering. That was direct interference.
Yep. Absolutely.
But as usual, the Democrats engage in psychological projection. Whatever they do, they try to stick to everybody else.
Yep. Absolutely. All right. Great call, Joe. Appreciate it.
Joe.
All right. Thanks, guys. Love you.
Love you too. Take care. Bye. Let's take a call from Todd in Whitmore Lake. Todd, welcome to the show.
Yes, good afternoon. Thank you for hearing my call today. Good to hear you, boys.
And you, my friend.
Oh, thank you. Well, I'm going to beat this one a little bit, and we're going to have fun with it, too, because I heard yesterday on another show, and I forget who it was, but Shifty Shift, he's got a lot of explaining to do if he wants to keep beating this drum. If we go back, I believe it was in 2012, there's a story out there that was buried that Russians from a radio station pranked him and said they called him. He took the call, and they said they had dirt on as Oppo research, and he says yes, go ahead, give it to me. Let's hear what you got. So
is that what we
once
just
again,
played?
It might have been
hypocrites.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's the Democrats always do as I say, not as I do, because they are projecting, as Joe said.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's that simple. It really is. Yeah.
And then when it comes to what Donald Trump did with George Stephanopoulos, you know, it's great. that I finally think that he's had enough, and he needs to use the nickname that I've got for George, and it's George Step on All of Us.
There you go.
That little munchkin, and no pun intended, Gary, sorry, he really needs to step aside.
Yes, absolutely. What else you got, Todd? Anything?
Nothing, I'm done.
All right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate the call as always.
Take care.
Take care. Let's take a call from Gary in Hazel Park. Gary, welcome to the show.
Hey, gentlemen. As much as I hate to admit it, I think Donald Trump ought to self-censor himself a little bit more, because he had no business going over there and talking to George Stephanopoulos. The guy's a snake. He's been a snake for a decade. And if Trump would just learn a little bit that you can't say anything you want to say, even though the best thing in the world is for everybody to be upfront and
transparent,
righteous with each other, and transparent. The media will do whatever they can do to stop him in 2020, and it's imperative we keep him there. And so he understands that, but he doesn't act on it when he's out there. I agree with what he said. You guys have, and other people have already explained that it was perfectly normal. But look at the press. I mean, as soon as he said it, 500 different people picked it apart by each word.
Hey, Gary?
Yes.
Did it increase the chances of his impeachment?
I don't know.
Suppose it did. Suppose he was stirring the pot and it would raise the cries. Oh, see, he is guilty. I mean, we need to impeach him. Then mission accomplished.
You're thinking 3D chess.
Yeah, mission accomplished.
You're thinking that Trump wants the impeachment to start in the House so that people can see how absolutely ludicrous the Democrats are and not vote for them in 2020. Which, if you want to believe that, that's...
He said something that was, everybody's been taking the
trolling them. The master troll of all.
There you go. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, there you go, Gary. It's possible. When I first heard it, I was like, oh, why did he say that? When I saw the entire interview, then I changed my mind and went, oh, Stephanopoulos and the media is taking it out of context once again, like they always do. So you're right. But the mainstream media is going to do that no matter what. They're always going to take that little snippet and say, look, he admitted it,
Yeah, true that. Yeah, they've been doing that and they keep doing that. Another thing I'd like to get on is I've been hearing some of the strangest things from the Democrats when it comes to abortion, like abortion saves lives. These people are absolutely out of their skulls. I don't understand the bloodlust. I don't understand how they can get up and be so animated to kill innocent children in the womb, but they do, and they try to justify it through the craziest logic. And it's driving me out of my skull thinking that these are Americans who believe this. I was I went to a town hall meeting with Andy Levin last night, and I'm changing subjects. One of the things that he was trying to impose upon all the people there, where there's two Republicans, me and my wife, and the rest were leftists, that Donald Trump is trying to go to war with Iran, even though it's Iran who's blowing up oil tankers on the side in the Straits, the Gulf.
Yes, Gulf of Oman. Yep.
So he's already putting the seed of Trump's a warmonger in the minds of his constituents.
Yeah, well, that's what Levin does, right? The Levins are notorious liars. It's outrageous that people is he Macomb County? I think he's Macomb County, right?
Yeah, he's
I'm amazed that the people of Macomb County can be so easily taken in by this Democratic ruse, because they fall for it every time. They've always gone after the Senator Levins. And who was our Senator Levin at the time? What was his name? Carl Levin.
Carl Levin.
Another notorious liar, if you ask me. But people in Macomb County need to wake up to the fact that, you know what? Let me tell you this. Argue all you want. Killing a baby in the third trimester of pregnancy is killing a baby. It's murder. It is not woman's health care. Period.
My way of thinking, it's a sign of demonic possession. Honestly. I mean, not like twirling the head and spitting out green pea soup. But what other influence can you attribute this to than demonic activity, that these people want to actively kill babies. They can twist their head around the fact that, oh, well, we're saving lives by killing lives. We're making black lives better by keeping their population low.
Yeah,
that was Margaret Sanger's.
That's exactly what it is, and people need to remember that. They forget it all the time. Margaret Sanger was a eugenicist. She wanted to eliminate as much of the black population as she could. She considered them weeds.
Yeah,
and so Planned Parenthood is designed to cut down the population of our African American community. That's what it's designed for, folks.
Yeah, but now its main activity is just to bring in money to its
well, and they're selling the babies.
Yes,
what did we say? $47,000 a dead baby's worth to Planned Parenthood.
Yep.
There you go. All right, what else you got, Gary? Anything?
Yeah, I'd like to talk about Iron Man. Do you think that Iron Man died more heroically than just about any other pop culture character that you can think of?
I guess it was pretty heroic.
I'm not quite sure more heroically.
He saved half the universe.
I think it's interesting. I think the counterbalance between him and Captain America. Captain America was always the guy for the team, and Iron Man was always for himself. And he said going in, I'm not going to do this unless I can things come out for me the same they were going in. And the most ultimate thing coming out is different is that he's dead, right? So he's the one who was self-sacrificing, and Captain America goes back. Okay, we're done. Captain America goes back and saves himself.
All right. I don't know how we got into you guys and your film critics. Thanks for the call, Gary. Appreciate it.
Gary.
This is not a film show. What?
Joe Leonard 2.0. Let's talk about what I want to talk about.
Let me get Tom in here. Tom, welcome to the show.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for the spoiler.
You haven't seen it yet?
Oh, no. Sorry about that.
For DVD. To rent it. We're going back to what the topic of the collusion, the Democrats and the trying to drum Trump out of office. This again where they're telling us exactly what they're doing. Aside from the fluff, with all the yelling about collusion and what have you, they said they don't want it. They're not getting rid of Trump because of anything he particularly did. They're saying because he's dangerous. And, he is. They can't buy him. They can't find anything in his past to blackmail him on. So he's dangerous. And
he's dangerous to the elite.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm done. It was real quick. That was all I have. Really on topic.
Jesus said about this guy, I think it was Philip, who they were introduced. He says, "Behold, a man in whom there is no guile." Actually, I think he said a Jew, but let's not go there. But he said, "Behold, a man in whom there is no guile." I look at Donald Trump, and I don't see guile in him. I see complete candidness and openness. So he gets on step. He does. I relate to him in the fact that not that we're both rich multimillionaires, because we're not, but I see him as a human being. I see him the way he treats people. I see the jokes he makes, the humor he does, the weird twist that his mind takes once in a while. I can relate to that. And his being totally open and saying something where everybody else says he should have kept his mouth shut. He didn't say anything wrong to Stephanopoulos. Sure, any handler would have said, you shouldn't have gone there. But who knows? Maybe it was 3D chess.
Maybe it was 3D chess. Here's what somebody said the other day, and I can't remember who it was. Trump never goes – because I run my life this way. I never attack anybody. But if you come after me, boy, I'm letting you have it. And that's the way Trump is. He didn't go after Pelosi first. She came after him, then he hits back, and he hits back hard. He does the same with pencil neck Adam Schiff, who came after him first. You say bad things about the president, he's not your typical George Bush Republican. I'm going to sit on my hands and cry about it and do whatever the elites want me to do. He stands up, and he's fighting back. And he's fighting back for each and every one of us, which is the important thing.
Yes.
We voted for him. We expect him to do certain things. He's doing it. And people are complaining? Are you kidding me? What else you got, Tom? Anything?
You were on the Iran thing. Have you ever heard of an analyst called Joel Skousen?
No.
Okay, he's been around a long time. He's got a newsletter, wrote a book. He's been interviewed by George Norrie, Alex Jones, and I heard him yesterday, and he claims that this Iran is a false flag against Iran. He had